The age of the influencer is over. The time of the buck has come.
He's gotta be on something.
Steroids. How come you always think my guys are the ones that use it?
All right. So I'm doing strict press today, which is 265 because I started. I was gonna do my normal pressing, but my back wasn't feeling worth a shit. So you don't really feel like doing any hip thrusting and lay backing when your back feels like that. And I didn't want to go back to doing bench three times a week because my pec still isn't 100% recovered. Oh, I got this old Jeff Nippert video here. Jeff Nippert made actually a pretty in-depth video on steroids, and people said that he's pretty cookie cutter. Well, I don't know if they say that, for example, but he's got a good understanding of how they work. And yeah. Talking about how the standards have changed so much since he first came on the scene, that people were making like natty or nots about him, and now it's like, you know, now nobody would even think that. Not just because he's came out and he's a natural, and it makes sense that he's a natural because he's not red and he doesn't have huge traps, huge deltoids. That's usually what it is. You get like free boulder shoulders, and you get not necessarily free traps because. Although some people can get traps without doing deadlifts, like Sam Sulek. There's lots of steroid users that don't have any traps, but they still get the free boulder shoulders. There you go. That's the fat kid stance right there. You got to pretend like you're the CN Tower. All right. So I had to cut in here because my first stick was kind of boring. Okay, so. Anyways, I was thinking I got to talk about steroids because people want to hear about that. And so I increased my testosterone dose, my TRT plus, well, TRT plus, which is the I was thinking of BattleTech when I came up with that. And anyways, because if you're not familiar with BattleTech, it's a mech simulator. Well, actually, BattleTech, the game which is on I think Harebrained Studios. It's actually a turn-based strategy game, but there's Mech Warrior, which is the same sort of universe, and it's a mech simulator. And I'm into that sort of thing. I think that's cool. I played a lot of BattleTech, and Chad played a lot of Mech Warrior. He played the new game, and so anyways, you can get like special versions of guns. Let's see, there's autocannon 20s. But then you can get like some the best one to get is an autocan 20 plus. Okay. So anyways, my TRT plus is 1 gram of testosterone per week, and because I wanted to see how that felt, and so far it feels pretty good. I've got a little bit of an acne flare up, but I'm gonna try to. It's just because the hormone fluctuation causes that, and so you got to deal with that for like 2 weeks, and then it goes away. But then again, I'm going to increase my dosage to, for this next cycle, it's going to be a lot, okay? But just test, no orals, and then at the end, I'll use testosterone suspension as well, like just on the last day, because I don't want to shoot that more than one time, because that doesn't feel good. Well, I mean, it doesn't feel good as it's getting injected, but it makes your workout pretty good. This freaking thing made me look like I had no shoulders. I gotta take that one. I think the guy's name's like Revival Fitness. Chest up, shoulders back. He made a video on Rip, and it was the classic thing where Ripto's telling people to gain weight, and then this guy just thinks that the person will be gaining too much fat. Well, it just depends on I think that it being like. The amount of weight that Rip told him to gain was kind of crazy. Even, I still wouldn't recommend that, but you don't, you don't necessarily have to go up. Like if Rip tells you to gain 40 pounds, it doesn't have to be in 3 months. It could be in a year. And in that Jeff Nippert video, he's talking about steroids. He says that creatine monohydrate you could put on like 2 pounds of muscle in a year with it, and then with anabolic steroids, you could gain up to like 20 pounds of muscle in a year. You can gain more than 2 pounds of muscle in a year, unless, well, maybe if you're like if you're already pretty advanced in your training, yeah, that's probably all you're going to gain. Because if you think of me, I only PR my lifts once or twice a year. And back when I was a novice, you're doing like PRs every week. Well, even an intermediate, or like low intermediate. I remember my friends and I would do deadlifts on Saturdays, and so I would max out, do a heavy single, and then I do like a set of 10 after that. And I got all the way up to I think 585 was the last time, and then I was like burnt out. Just like maxing out every week. I got up to 585. I did that at the gym. No belt, just my weight. I put on weightlifting shoes for that. Because normally I would do that in the basement. The guys would come over, and we're like doing deadlifts on the carpet, which is no good. So anyways, we did that one at the gym. And this was back in the days when I didn't know how to place my hands. So I remember when I was pulling on the 585, the right side of the bar went way out in front of me. Maybe I'll go over here. You don't want to get the sun in your face. Well, either of them. There's this one here, and there's that one over there. It's like the movie Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. I like that movie. Anyways, today I'm going to show you the RDL workout and how to do one, and basically what not to do, maybe. Well, I'm not going to show you I'm not going to teach you what not to do, because I have pretty good form. But I'll tell you some things that if you're doing them, you shouldn't be doing. Okay? So first of all, I got to set up my hooks. So you don't need to have them. You only need to have the hooks low enough so that when you're fully extended, the bar is over top. You don't want to have them so high so you have to do a calf raise to put the bar back, because after you do after you do a set, you don't want to have to do a fucking calf raise. Although I might re-rack it using my calves. Here we go. Yes. Okay, this bar I have is so freaking old. This knurling is so, I don't know if it was original. It was probably a little sharper when I first got it back in 2011. I started work on a farm in the summer of 2011. My first paycheck, which was like $1,000, I was making $12 an hour. So I was making $500 a week. I got my first paycheck. And I got 245s, 235s, and 225s. And then two stall mats, okay? And the stall mats are like, I think they're like 90 pounds each or something. They're pretty heavy, but it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. And so anyways, you can see there's been, I don't know exactly why that mark's there, but it is. All right, now I don't just want you to look at my ass, and so I'll put you over to the side a little bit. Yes, right here. Okay, you're still gonna be looking at my ass a lot, but oh my goodness, that fucking light. It's going away. Well, natural light. Oh, it looks way better. Okay, there we go. Okay, so when you unrack this thing, you should be standing up straight with your knees extended, okay? You shouldn't be like this, okay? That means the weight's too fucking heavy, because then the weight's just resting on your quads, and you're only pulling on it a little bit. So you're like, it's like a counterweight thing. The thing that should be holding up the bar are your glutes. This is why hitching is bad, and hitching's almost as bad as sumo deadlifting, okay? Well, not quite. That was a stretch, but none of this shit, okay? If you're holding an RDL, like I can see if you're doing like a max out deadlift attempt, or you're doing like a heavy set, like a tough set, okay? And then you end up like this. This is your lockout, okay? But if you're doing an RDL, the weight shouldn't be heavy enough that you have to do that. Okay. Okay, and for the weights, I think people do too heavy a weight for this. Okay, and because I do my working set for deadlifts, I'm going to be doing like 543 today on this. My working set for deadlifts on Saturday was 630 pounds. Okay, so this is almost 90 pounds less than that for 2 sets of 8. And that's, I don't know what percentage that would, that's like, I don't know, 80% or something, maybe a little higher than 80%. And this isn't the focus of all your lifts, okay? This is you gotta give up the noob mindset, okay? Because when I was a noob, I used to be like, oh, and this is what Larry Wheels and these guys say, like, that's the ones you grow from. No, the thing you're trying to get up is your deadlift. So that's the thing that you need to be focused on. You gotta get this weight for this many fucking reps on that day. And then you have to eat this much, and then you have to eat a lot of food. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to add the weight next week. This sort of thing, the assistance is to just kind of like put a little bit of extra work in between the important days, okay? This is like, so for example, if, like let's say you got a business, okay? The important thing, the thing that makes you money is the actual product, okay? Or the service that you perform. This sort of lift, and that would be, let's say that's your deadlift, okay? Okay, your deadlift, that's what makes you the money, okay? And this other thing is kind of like, this would be like, let's say you got a shop, okay? It's like keeping the shop clean, okay? So you're not gonna like trip on something and break your neck, okay? Or like printing up invoices, okay? And paying your bills and stuff. But so paying your bills is pretty important because you don't want some big goon to come by and break your legs. Okay, so first warm up. Maybe I should go over here. You should go over here, sucker. All right. Okay. I gotta stand. I gotta do a wide stance. So my last warm up, I don't usually do this, but you kind of want your last warm up for lots of these lifts to be 10% of your working weight, or 90% of your working weight, or 10% below your working weight. Okay, so anyways, my fucking IT band's feeling way better today. Because I could feel when I'm walking around, I'm doing, I'm stepping in different ways. Okay, and it's feeling way better, and it's gonna keep on feeling better as long as I keep on doing being patient with squats instead of trying to get the sets done as fast as possible. Because I got some more ideas of things I'm gonna add to my stack for endurance, because it does like gas you out a little bit more. Not in terms of like your muscles. I think the lactic acid level is the same, but you might go a little numb a little faster in the arms with a longer set, doing like 1 rep at a time instead of doing like the continuous reps. But yeah, the heavy breathing isn't really as much of an issue as the IT band pain. So whatever, and my stamina is getting better and better. And what I think I'm going to add to my stack is there's this thing, it's called cartery. And people say it's a SARM. It's not an actual SARM, but that improves I'm only going to use it once because there's these rat studies that show that you have like really accelerated cancer growth. Okay, so I'm only going to use it. I might use it twice just to see how it works the first time, because I don't want to use it and then it messes me up and screws up my peak. So there's that, and I'm going to take baking soda, because baking soda helps metabolize lactic acid, and then ubiquinol. I'll do a really high dosage of that. and then we'll see what happens. And so when I do the RDLs, I brace before I pick up the bar, and then I'm braced for my first rep. I just hold my breath for that whole thing. And then I'll take when I'm doing my working set, I re-brace when I'm at the top. Okay, so another thing is I'm having my 4th coffee. I'm getting a lot better with the handling caffeine. And so anyways, that's why I'm having more. But, you know, on my last video, I was playing Gauntlet Legends, and lots of the viewers, I have lots of new viewers, is what I'm trying to say. They're not aware that I used to do, like, I would put in some, like, Let's Plays in some of the older things, just kind of games that I liked, Conquers by Verde, GoldenEye, and then I had a lot of WoW things where Chad would play, and then I would just talk over it. And I talked about Gauntlet Legends, but I never did it for a Let's Play because the N64 ROMs for it it's hard to emulate. Okay. Although I don't use an emulator. I definitely don't use that, and so never got around to it. But that's a game I've really liked since I was a kid. It came out in '97. I didn't get an N64 until like '99 or 2000. I remember I got it for my second. I think it would have been 2000 because I got it for my birthday in grade 2. My birthday is in September, and so yeah, it would have been. I think I was 8. Yeah, because I got Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3. No, maybe just Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3. I got some other goofy games. Anyways, let me know if that was somewhat bearable to watch, because I know people didn't like the World of Warcraft things, and frankly, I don't blame them. And I think I'll just do the Let's Play thing once a week. So I generally make 3 videos a week. I'll just do it once a week on the weekend, because I don't really want it to be a gaming channel, because frankly, that didn't really attract any viewers. And you know, that sort of game, if let's say if you're a Zoomer, that's sort of, they can't even look at those graphics. They're like, why the hell would someone play that? But for me, it's, you know, it's nostalgic. And anyways, next set, 335. It's pissing down rain out. So I was gonna come home and do these anyways, because I come and do my workout in the middle of the day. I did my bench this morning, felt pretty good. I wasn't expecting to get 5 reps for any of the sets. And although the weight's low, it's, you know, it's, that sort of performance is better than it's been in the last 2 weeks, so I'll take it. Did increase my testosterone dosage. And anyways, feeling a bit better from that. Yeah, I've got such a huge supplement stack. I was talking to one of my customers, and he's taken almost all the same things. The only thing I think he takes on that he takes that I don't are some, what the hell does he take? He has some sort of neuropathy, and he has a gabapentin. He takes that. I have no use for that. And then he is also, I think he takes ubiquinol. I take ubiquinol every day, but it's like $1 a pill, and I already take so much shit. So I think once I cut out some more things, like I bought some ginseng, horny goat weed, and maca, and I've got a bunch of other things that I just wanted to try out, and they'll get dropped because it's not really doing too much. So I might add in ubiquinol regularly after that. Because you can't really get ubiquinol unless you're eating like pounds and pounds of heart, or and even then that's ubiquinone. That's why, yeah, you want to get ubiquinol, because your body has to convert ubiquinone into ubiquinol. Chalk. My brother said he was at the gym, and the girl beside him, he was using chalk, but she thought it was his skin flaking off, like it was dandruff. and then it was like, there was like a cloud of it. It was falling like snow, and she's like, "Ugh, it's getting on me." And then she found out, a little later that he was using chalk, and so, but apparently she was extremely grossed out. This is actually a brick of gold member skin. Yeah, so I put the chalk on the bar, and that's good enough. All right, last warm up. 513 pounds. Oh, I kind of gotta take a leak, so I think I'll do that. But, there we go. The tight belt setting is very useful. There's those strongmen that put their belt on backward. I think it's to make room, because their belly's so big they need as much, because if the belt is like, if you have this much extra fabric and you get this thing, then that makes it even harder to get down to the right position, especially when they're wearing a deadlift suit. So that's why they put it on backward, because then it's just that little 13 millimeter layer. Although they usually use two belts. That's another thing. They got my brother called it the fat kid belt, because when he did his original like super bulk, when he went up to 260, he would wear a fat kid belt, and then he'd wear his belt on top of that. And he just gained all that weight, and then was like everything, all of his lift, except for deadlift, because he couldn't get into the right position. Except his rack pull was really strong, but his squat like went right up to 600, 60. I think he did 601 or 600, 315 overhead press. He probably could have done like 330 or 335, and then he did a 405 bench. So when there's some guy that called my brother a Zoomer twink. Do you even lift? Yeah. Sure. I'm back to these because it just saves me so much time setting them up. It'll be 544 today. I'm feeling pretty crazy. No, that's just, I had to think of what plates I'm using, because I just do 1 kilo jumps for RDLs and deadlifts right now. And even if I was doing bigger jumps on deadlifts, like if I was doing a serious cycle, I'd just still be doing just doing 1 kilo jumps, maybe 2 kilo jumps from this weight. Like when I did my 801 for 2, my last remaining deadlift workout I think was 581 or 582 for 2 sets of 8. Here's looking extra good today. Hell yeah. I don't know how I got this, but I wanted... There we go. Hell yeah. This is my founding father's look. Well, I don't know if their hair was this curly. Clown hair, basically, but this is my thing. You know, all the Gen Z kids, they're all copying one another. They all got, they got a hoodie on, a hoodie. They've got their gigantic headphone, their autism headphones, short shorts, boat shoes, long white socks that are pulled up to the knee, almost to the knee. And then, you know, you just, their lingo, everyone talks the same. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do, make up your own language? I mean, they kind of do, but then again, skibbity riz, yeet. You know better than I do. I'm really out of touch with popular culture. And so, anyways, it's pissing down rain, so which means it's Tuesday morning, and which also means it's, well, not every Tuesday morning is like this. It means it's commentary time, and I got some coffee. Fanshawe College. They only accept the best. And by best, I mean, as long as you can pay your tuition, you're in. Did you get all D's? Yeah. That's all right. You got, I don't know what it's now, but do you have $4,000? Well, yeah. You're in. D's. D's for fucking Dominator. Okay, I fucking Dom showed all those. This is gonna be a new way to flex because I can't turn my hand in, so I'm just gonna do this sort of thing. It's called the Tuscan Raider flex. Okay, so this guy in the Discord chat linked an Ivan Jerk video, and Ivan Jerks, his lifts are kind of like, I think he made all his progress in like the first year and a half, and then he switched things up. He'll do like, I remember for a while he was doing like deadlift every day. Basically, I mean, the guy, let's have his videos are like, no fear that good today. I can't do an Australian accent anymore. It just turns into like some sort of like lower class English accent, which is a lot nicer to listen to, frankly. Maybe not my impression, but that's just my thing. The Australian accent, I can't stand it. No offense, Australians. No offense. Basically, you know, instead of being negative and just saying like, you know, it's like, dude, all you need to do is, I'm pretty sure that guy's like 5'10". If you get up to 270 pounds, okay, you're going to hit your lifting goals. Okay. That's all you have to do is get up to 200. You just have to eat it. Because if you don't eat more food, because if you're breaking down muscle tissue, you have to be in a surplus. This is like basic shit. If you're 5'10", and you're a lifter, okay, and you're a lifter, get up to 270 pounds, so who cares if you're a little fluffy? You already don't really look like you work out. When I weighed, I did all my best lifts when I was natural, when I was like 275 to 280, and the most I weighed, I think, was 283, and I was fluffy, and I would have kept on gaining weight, but I started my landscaping work again, and I wasn't making any more gains. I was just fat for no reason, and so then I decided to cut down. And then I went on steroids because I wanted to get stronger without having to get fat. Well, too fat, because in the bodybuilding standards, I'm still fat. And so that's all you got to do. You're welcome. Okay? And frankly, I know you're older. This is another thing, is like people that are, although I look old, everyone would say that I look older than you. I'm pretty sure he's like 34 or something, 35. So I'm younger than you. There's people that are younger than me that I look up to. Tyler one's a few years younger than me. Or about 2.5 years younger than me. I don't know if I really look up to him, but I find him entertaining. And I appreciate his level of competency and his will, because the guy doesn't quit. So, and then some of the music I listen to Devin Townsend, his early stuff, like City, Ocean Machine. He wrote that when he was 24 years old. But if something's good, then it doesn't really matter old a person was when they made it, because you can have you don't have to be old to be wise. And frankly, most old people aren't. Most old people are boobs. So, that's you know, I was rewatching my video with the Gauntlet Legends, the Gauntlet Legends Let's Play, and I'm like, yeah, if you live in Texas, this is what you got to do. You got to smash. You got to make sure you stomp those spiders. Then it was scorpions. I was having a Joe Biden moment, and there's so many times, and you've obviously noticed this, where I start saying something, and then I never finish my thought, and I can't remember exactly. There was a few of those, I think, during that Let's Play, but there's been probably hundreds throughout all the videos. I get sidetracked like the dog from Up. Okay. And so, what the hell? I switched to strict press in training because my back yesterday wasn't feeling that good, and I wasn't feeling all that strong. But I didn't want to just do. I don't want to go back to doing bench 3 days a week and no overhead press. You got to do overhead press, because I remember I tell people, I'm like, overhead press is the most important thing, and overhead press is the most important thing, and then I mean, I have to do it if I'm going to say that. Well, listen to this. Actually, let's put up the. No, let's put up this one. Hellfire Peninsula. Some people are picking up to these things. More people. What the fuck was I talking about? I got sidetracked again. There's the 2Buff for this just posted that old video of the guy in Australia where he's carrying a 45 or a 20 kilo, and he pretends to slip. He's like, whoa. He I don't know. A ghost fucking pushed him, and then he's like, whoa, like he had the WWE championship, and he just mashed the guy in the fucking head. I wonder if there's like I haven't looked into it, but there's probably got to be some sort of like background, like a feud between those two guys. Unless you just wanted to smash someone's head. I don't want to listen to that one. Let's look at the peaceful pastures of Nagrand. The floating islands. This inspired Avatar. So, anyways, I gotta stick to strict press, and it's feeling pretty good. I didn't even look at the clips, but I think that I try and drop it as low as I can to make the rep look better, because I probably only need to go down to my chin like Eddie Hall does. But it's pretty good, and you know, I'm gonna do this cycle. I'm gonna start at the end of August, and then in early October I'll peak. And I'm actually gonna use more testosterone than I had previously planned, because I think I'll be able to do an even better squat set. If I fix my IT band problem, which I'm pretty sure I've got it figured out now. I just have to take my time. So trying to do power reps, just focus on all my cues, like maximal braced, go down, bounce off the bottom, out of the bottom, shoot the hips up, okay, and turn it into like a good morning, and then finish with the legs. Not like a literal good morning, but that's the kind of the thing where you want the hips to. I want to use a lot of hips. And another thing about that, when I was doing squats the other day, is I put the belt on underneath my shirt, because sometimes when the belt's pulling on your shirt, it might put your body in a slightly different position. Like kind of like wearing, kind of like if you were gonna wear pants that bunch up in the knees when you're doing squats. Oh my goodness. Fruits. There's my brother-in-law has done. He started the carnivore diet, and he went from like 260 pounds to about 200 pounds. And then so my dad's friend is starting to do that because he wants to lose weight, but you can't. He's not really fat, but he's got a belly. But it's the visceral fat belly, and so changing to the carnivore diet, I don't think you can get rid of that. You have to do fasting, which is why visceral fat sucks, because having to do fasting, because it's a slow thing too. You fast for like 2 days a week for months, and then your visceral fat will be gone. This is why you want to stay insulin sensitive, people. My customer yesterday told me that, because what the hell did she say? She's like, oh, it's hot out. I'm like, oh yeah, it's hot out. It's not too bad though. She's like, you're sweating. I'm like, I weigh 270 pounds. I sweat very easily. She said, shame on you. Shame on. I guess she thought that, like most 270 pounders, I'm a fat ass, even though you can see me and I'm clearly not a fat ass. And then she asked if I have there's diabetes runs in my family. Diabetes doesn't run in anyone's family. Gluttony runs in people's family because you learn it from your stupid parents. And that's what diabetes is. People are, it needs to get renamed. It needs to get renamed because it has to do with insulin, obviously, like type 1 diabetes does. But it's a disease of gluttony and ignorance. And so, well, I mean, gluttony is kind of like, I don't know, being ignorant of, I don't know, what's like a sort of like healthy way to live, okay? Because frankly, it's, I'm pretty sure if I asked my brother-in-law now, since he's lost a lot of weight, being healthy, although there's people that would say that I'm not healthy because I use a lot of steroids, but compared to the average person, I'm like well, anyways, I'm pretty sure that when you're healthy, it feels better. Being healthy is better than any sort of indulgence, any sort of like cheesecake, eating like, I don't know, it's a triple heart attack burger. Although that's not really that unhealthy for you. Well, yeah, it is, but I mean, just eating a burger is not really all that bad. It's mostly sugar and seed oil. Every time my brother and I eat something with seed oil in it, we get like an acne flare-up. And so anyways, yeah, type 2 diabetes. She said that her husband didn't know that he had it until he went for a urine test. And then they figured out that his blood sugar level was 17. I don't know what the unit was, but the standard to like be not considered diabetic, like to be healthy, it's like I think less than 7 or something like that. But I don't know what the unit is. And anyway, so then he like changed his diet, and then he was on metformin for a while. But she said that he weighed 200 pounds, and then that her son was a diabetic, and he was getting close to 200 pounds. 200-pound diabetic. And that's what my dad's friend, he was like, they call pre-diabetic, which means, I mean, you figure this like butchering of the English language, it means like not diabetic, but it means close to being considered diabetic, because there's like an arbitrary blood sugar number you have to hit to be considered diabetic. And most old people have that, and most people have bellies, and frankly, it's fucking gross. And I don't know how you look at yourself in the mirror and not be like, oh wow, there's that Dr. Seuss book, Am I Your Mother? Or Are You My Mother? And then they would be like, am I a mother? That's what they would say. That's what they should say. Because they can't see their fucking penis, but I suppose if you have a mirror, yeah, you get the point. But anyways, the diabetes, type 2 diabetes has the pharmaceutical industry makes way too much money on fat people for obesity to ever go away. But they'll tell you that they're trying to fix obesity. You got Ozempic, it makes you skinny fat. You got it's like, oh, I'm losing weight because you just went from eating like 5,000 calories of carbs to eating 2,200 calories of carbs, but you still have no muscle, and you just like you just have saggier titties because the fat isn't pushing as hard on the skin.